You'll see my banner at the top of the page. That's where people are chatting, and I would love to visit with you there. That's the place to ask a question. Now, I want to also let you know that I am live streaming this event, doing it a little bit differently today. So I'm hoping that everyone can find it. I am live streaming from my fan page today, although I'm hoping to share it into the group, but I'm not seeing it come up quite yet. But I'll share it into 1-2 Radio as well. But if you'd like to watch it, you can just head over to Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic on YouTube, or here on Facebook, sorry. So easy enough to find right there. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm up to this morning. And again, I would love to connect with you guys one way or the other. So not really sure why it's not showing up on my fan page, but if I can find it there, I will share it into the chat room. But either way, we're all connected, right? So if you want to watch it later, you can find it there on my fan page, or you can find it uploaded to YouTube a little later on today. So many easy ways to find it, to find me and to connect. And again, I hope you guys are having, there it is. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I hope that things are going well. If they're not, that's okay too. I still want to hear about it. But I do want to let you know that this is our animal communication show this week. And so if you want to bring me your animals, that's what we're working on. I love it when we do the animal communication show. If you share pictures of your fur babies with me in the chat room, that's always fun. I appreciate it. And I will hopefully, Scott will share a few of ours. Scott, I forgot to tell you, but I had made a TikTok last night of our pigs. It was a tutorial on how to make pigs in a blanket. But if you wouldn't mind sharing that into my chat, I would love it. If you can find it, I shared it with you on TikTok last night. Just having fun. I know we're all a little bored and stir crazy, or just crazy. We're something. I've been a little bored and stir crazy. I will tell you that for sure. It doesn't mean I'm doing a lot of productive things. I really wish it was. I really wish that this was a time where I felt like, oh my God, I've just got all of these opportunities to work on things I want to work on. And I'm not really doing that. I don't know what to say about that. I really wish I was, but so far, not so much. I've had some family poker nights, and the first night I wiped the table with everybody. The second night I was the first person out. So what do you do? But but that's been fun. One of my nieces is actually sheltering in place with us for a few days, and that was mostly because poor Mars is so bored she cannot take it anymore. And so a cousin who's also been in quarantine was allowed to come and stay for a few days and have some fun. So that's been nice. Well, last night the girls made a beautiful dinner. They set the table. They even had out wine glasses, and they sent us all an invitation to a red carpet event. And we were expected to dress for dinner. Now, please understand, I was in my pajamas. But what did I do? I dressed for dinner. So I got myself out of my comfy chair with my comfy dogs doing my comfy things, and I fixed myself up and I showed up for dinner, by God, because when you're called to dinner, you come to dinner, right? So I'd shared a picture of myself last night on my Facebook page because I took a picture because I don't know if I'll ever put those eyelashes on again. I'm telling you that. That was my red carpet look. So I'll share it in here, kind of fun. But that's kind of what I've been working on. Oh, you might have seen that my sisters and I did a song. I guess I have been finding some fairly productive ways to spend my time. We were thinking about all of the people we've been seeing, doing these little online performances to lift people up. And we're thinking that it might be fun to do a song of our own. And the song that we chose was Let It Be, because Let It Be was a song that was really meaningful to our mom. And she had requested that song at her funeral. My aunt, two of my aunts performed that at her funeral, which was really special. Well, that song's just, since then and always, it's been a really, it's been meaningful to me, and so About 2 years after she died, maybe not even that long, a while after she died, I was coming to work. It was still when we had our healing center, and you had to park usually several blocks away, which I had done, and was walking, and I walked past a guy that was standing in front of a little local park singing. And when I walked past him, he grabbed me and he said, "Can I sing you a song?" And I said, "Well, sure." you know, I don't know. He was singing for money. And so I said, "Sure." So he stunned me. And here's why. I had cried myself to work that day, missing my mom, feeling bad. You know what grief does. Sneaky bitch sneaks up on you, makes you feel terrible. It's just how it is. And we had, at any rate, I had cried myself to work. I was feeling awful, just having a shitty day. So, of course, then this guy stops me and asks me, "Can he sing me a song?" And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm in a hurry, but fine. I'm already late, so what does it matter?" And so I sit down on the curb with him and he sings "Let It Be." And it blew my mind. It was such a huge hello from my mom. It was such a comfort. I cried through the entire thing. At one point, he forgot the words and I filled them in because I do know that song by heart. And it just really, like, it was such a sweet thing. It was such a beautiful hello from my mom. And I don't, he was looking a little perplexed, I think, because I cried and cried and cried. And then when he was done, of course, I hugged him and I told him that it was absolutely a message from heaven, that he was on an angel's errand today. I appreciated him so much. I didn't have any money on me. I had no cash on me at all. And so I got down to work and my nephew was there and I took a little money from work and asked him to run back down and give it to the guy, and he did, and thanked him again. But that was one of those moments where I knew, and I'm a medium. I have communicated with my moms and my dad ever since they died, but to have such a tangible little love, a little hello from heaven, that was really powerful for me. It was exactly what I needed. It was something that I definitely was hanging out for and waiting for. So really, something I needed that day that really came through in a powerful way. So anyway, so that was the song that we chose, and we did sing it. We were going to try to sing it together. Here's the deal. You can't. You cannot sing it together. There was just too much delay. And so that left us in this place where we had to just, sing. We just had to arrange it and sing it in different parts, which was fine too. It's just that I kind of talked about this last week because I had said maybe I want to take some singing lessons over the break or over the quarantine, but I don't really sing. My sisters have performed forever. They've been singing since high school, and, always sang in the elite groups in high school and then they've performed all over the place. And I have not. It's never been something that I felt like was a real strong suit for me, but I've always wanted to do that. And so anyway, it took me far out of my comfort zone to perform the song with them. It really did. But I did it and I lived and it was fun. So we did challenge anyone else who would like to, sing a song and share it to us, that we could maybe make this some kind of a little challenge where you sing something uplifting and share it and allow other people to enjoy it and share it with others. So I did put a link in the chat room if you want to give it a run. If you don't, that's okay too. But I guess I have been finding some ways to spend my time. Of course I have, right? You got to do something. Anyway, my biggie, of course, is Christy and I's podcast. So, our True Crime Paranormal podcast, our new video and podcast came live yesterday. And that is the case of Mara Murray. Mara Murray was a college student that vanished in 2004. It's a really interesting case. And you can find it in really any podcasting platform. You should be able to find True Crime Paranormal. Or if you head over to YouTube, you can find True Crime Paranormal and find all of our shows there, all of our videos there. But Mara Murray is our latest endeavor. Really interesting case. And this week, we're down the rabbit hole of research working on the Bell Witch, the legend of the Bell Witch. If you guys aren't familiar with this one, holy hell, it's going to be fun. I'm very excited about it. So we'll record that one over the weekend and release it on Monday. Also want to let you guys know that tomorrow, CA and I have another pop-up show. So you might remember that last month we did a pop-up show where we showed up on Wednesday morning for that 2-hour time block between Christine and Kai, and we did a 2-hour reading show. Well, we're coming back tomorrow, same place. We're popping up again, and we are bringing Caroline Nettle with us. So I'm super excited. So tomorrow, make sure that you come. It's fun because we have our different, all of our different gifts and skills to come to the table, because Caroline does different things than I do, and CA does different things than me and Caroline do. And it's really fun because what we'll do, I'm sure we'll have plenty of things to speak about as well. But we have this great opportunity to bring together, all three of us and knock a bunch of readings out of the park. So that tomorrow, right between Christine and Kai, 2-hour reading show, please come. This is me begging. I'm not above it. Please come. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope that you guys can come and hang out with us. It'll be great. And of course, that's happening at 12radio.com. Okay, well, that's a lot of stuff to talk about. I want to talk a tiny bit just about good news around the globe. Lots of good things happening. If you guys have not found it yet, over on YouTube, John Krasinski is doing a good news show, and it is so sweet and fun. So make sure that you go and look that up. John Krasinski, do you know who I'm talking about? From The Office, right? Yeah. You know who I'm talking about. Funny as hell. He was in that recent commercial, about the ghost car. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, he had a guest on his little broadcast, and it was Steve Carell, and it was so awesome. So go watch it. You will love it. One thing that I am determined to do is make sure that I am putting more of my time and attention into things that make me feel good than things that make me feel like shit, right? Yeah, that's how I feel. I want to make sure that I am focusing more on things that make me happy, things that lift me up, things that give me something to smile about than the things that are making me feel terrible. It's so easy right now to find things that make you feel terrible, that scare the crap out of you, that in general make you feel bad, because that is just freaking everywhere right now. However, there is so much good news out there too. I noticed that my colleague, Jenny, is posting every day how many people have survived COVID on her Facebook page. And I thought that was such a beautiful sentiment. It's a really lovely way to help us remember that the sky is not falling. We are essentially okay. We're going to get through this. And we need to remember the good news. We need to share the good news like nobody's business. You can share other things too. There's no judgment there, but let's make sure that we're sharing plenty of love as well. Let's do it, right? Let's make sure that we're sharing the good news, the funny things, the great things. These are things that we can bring to the world. And I think these are things that we need to remember, right? If nothing else, if you take nothing from me today, just the theory that you look at it in percentages, that perhaps you want to focus 70% or 80% or 90%, you decide, on what makes you feel good, what uplifts you, what brings you joy, and how much of your time you really want to put into things that don't. Just a little bit of perspective right now, maybe a lot of perspective right now, but that's where I'm at with that. So, all right. Well, some good news. I'm taking a look at the Good News Network. I've been on there already this morning, some things I wanted to share. So, interesting things coming out of the medical field that have nothing to do with COVID. First of its kind blood test can detect over 50 kinds of cancer, often before symptoms show. Okay, I said cancer. Did that put a little fear in you? Maybe it did. Maybe nobody wants to hear about that right now. But that's an amazing way to give you a heads up about what's going on inside your body and what you need. Pretty interesting, right? They have a picture there of a man who came to the emergency room. He held a very sweet sign up to the window. He didn't come in. He kept his boundaries, his distance, right? Thanking the hospital staff for saving his life when she came in fighting for her life with COVID. But how kind. There's been a huge effort actually right now to give enough, and there'll never be enough, but enough thank yous to all of the first responders that are and the medical staff that are putting their own lives on the line right now to take care of other people. That to me is huge. It's huge. I know that they've got to be feeling sometimes like this is a thankless job. Some cities have started these programs with restaurants that people can adopt a doctor or adopt a nurse and pay to have meals delivered to the hospital for them. We have doctors and nurses that are working insane shifts, that are terrified to go home to their families and bring germs home to them, that are absolutely giving everything they have right now to keep us okay. And so frequently, they don't even have time to sleep. They have barely enough time to eat, to pee, to just for basic stuff, right? That at your job, you'd be pissed if you didn't get that time, right? I would. But anyway, people are sending meals in. It's one, it's helping restaurants that are floundering right now. And two, of course, it's also helping people who are struggling right now. It's helping people who need some recognition, they need some love, they need some help. And by God, do they need a little extra, right? So I thought that was some awesome news. And it's something that you might consider looking for in your own community or, starting in your community. I will say this in my little town with our little hospital, we currently have no one hospitalized with COVID. There's only 5 people in my county that have been diagnosed and they are all recovering at home. Right now, we are not super overwhelmed. That could change. We're going to keep an eye on that. However, there are certainly other people that have needs, that have illness. I learned that in our local hospital right now, if you go in to have a baby, you're on your own. Yeah. Some of the time, they are allowing husbands to come in, but that depends on the situation and not always. There are actually women that are showing up at the hospital right now, being marched in the front door and having their babies by themselves with the hospital staff. Of course, they're not alone. They have the nurses. They have those OB nurses, which are some of the most, kick-ass nurses on the planet. But it's certainly not the births that they dreamed of, that we're keeping them safe. We're keeping their babies safe. We're keeping everybody safe. Things like that are mind-blowing to me. So maybe the OBGYN nurses could use a little extra leg up right now, a little extra thank you, a little extra lunch, considering that they are now the partners and midwives solely of women having babies. Isn't that something? How it used to be, I understand, but okay. Looking at a few other things I wanted to share. Yes, loving this on the restaurants giving away food. Okay. A tavern owner sets up a virtual pub for town patrons and welcomes more than 14,000 global customers. So she basically did a live stream in the pub, giving people an opportunity to just pull up a beer and have a drink with her. And 14,000 people from around the world joined her in that. Isn't that fun? Boy, technology, we're finding a way, aren't we? It's pretty interesting. Yeah. It is the 60th birthday of Madagascar. The world's most biodiverse island gets a gift of 60 million trees. 60 million trees, guys. I think the earth is going to appreciate that. Look, I could go on and on and on. Scientists have discovered a protein. I shared this on Unchurch. Scientists have discovered a complete protein found nowhere on Earth that fell from space that could hint at the planet's origin. How amazing is that? I hope we do get to hear more about that at some point in the future. Anyway, I will stop right there with all of the good news because I know that you guys can find that yourselves as well. But wow, so many amazing things happening. One thing I read yesterday, and I don't have a source, but if you would like one, I can find it later, or you can probably find it. But that fossil fuel emissions are down so much that the hole in the ozone is knitting itself, healing itself up. Now, look, at some point, we're going to grind back into action, right? And the pollution we've been dumping on the planet's going to come right on down, right? It's going to come back. But for just a minute here, wow, we're giving the earth an opportunity to breathe, right? We're giving her an opportunity to take a deep breath while we are at home, not polluting her, not working her so freaking hard. That is pretty amazing to me. I'm hearing about communities that have wild animals that are coming out of the woodwork because their streets are bare. I'm hearing about Venice and the waterways running clear, and I'm hearing about beaches where dolphins are coming up to the shoreline. We have all of these amazing things happening because we got the hell out of the way. That I think is pretty great. I'm glad we did. That's pretty interesting stuff. Anyway, so there you go. There's that. Yep. Pretty pretty good stuff. Oh, Terry had mentioned that Paul McCartney wrote the song Let It Be for his mother, who passed away when he was a teenager. She came to him in a dream. His mother's name was Mary. Yeah, for the longest time, people thought it was Mary Jesus's mom, but it was actually about his mom named Mary. I had read that, Terry, and I have to tell you what's so cool about that. My mom's name was Mary too, Mary Ann. Yep, pretty cool. I love that. Yeah, Belle said maybe, just maybe, we will rethink our impact. Well, gosh, I would hope so, Belle. I don't know. I wish I had a lot of faith in humanity. I don't. I have faith in you guys. I have faith in me. I don't have a lot of faith in the powers that be because, well, they haven't proven to be very trustworthy, have they? But that's a conversation for another show. All right. Well, I wanted to do a little singing bowl work with you guys today. I wanted to work on the solar plexus because one thing I'm hearing, and I've been hearing for a few days now from a lot of light workers, is that we're having we're having some caretaker fatigue. I think that's probably what's the truest. We're a little exhausted. We're a little discouraged. We're feeling a little under the weather. So I wanted to do some solar plexus work to help you to shine your light brightly without, you know, being so run down, because that's what I'm hearing from a lot of the empaths. They're just feeling run down. This energy is tough to exist in, right? So we're going to clear the solar plexus first, and then we're going to really empower it, turn up your wattage, brighten you up. The solar plexus is the chakra that is right above your belly button. It's yellow typically. This is the one that is the place where a lot of people carry everyone carries their personal power, their self esteem, their confidence, and that light that you emanate comes usually from your heart and from your solar plexus. So that's what we're going to work on. So I brought a crystal bowl. I'm going to play it 2 times. The first time I play it, I'm going to ask you to just hold space with me, sit within that solar plexus, and just allow the frequency of the singing bowl to clear away anything you're carrying that no longer serves you. Pretty easy there, right? Clearing away any energy you're carrying that no longer serves you. So we'll do that first. Perfect. Okay. And now going back, this time I would like you to picture your solar plexus like a light. And as I play the bowl, I'd like you to use that frequency of the bowl to continue to turn up the light in that solar plexus, to continue to elevate that light, let it get brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter as I play the bowl. I would like you to allow it to get bright enough that it completely surrounds you and wow, encapsulates you. That's not a word. Encapsulates you in an enormous ball of white light. Okay, or golden light, whatever's coming from that solar plexus. There's no wrong answer. Turning up your wattage now. Perfect. Very good. Okay, so a little clearing, a little light, right? One thing that came through to me today while I was working on the magazine was that sunlight is a key right now. It's a key to our mind, body, and spirit health. It is a way for us to all find that place in us where we have joy, where we have brightness. And I really love this. I feel like this is, it's something that we can all remember daily, that either, and obviously the sun doesn't shine every day, but getting outside in the sun if you can safely. If you can't, opening the windows, opening the blinds, letting some sunshine and fresh air in, making sure that you are getting a little dose of vitamin D every day for your mind, body, and spirit feels very important. Julia said British Columbia has a new tradition. At 7 p.m., everyone who can goes outside and cheers, claps, and bangs their pots and pans to thank the frontline workers. Okay, I love that. And I'm going to do that. And my neighbors are going to wonder, what the hell? But you know what? They wonder that frequently around here. What do I care? What's my motto? I do what I want when I want. And I'm going to do that. Thank you for that, Julia. I absolutely love that. Okay. All right. I hope that gave you guys a little extra boost. That felt good to me. I want to get into Luminous, talk about the magazine here for a few minutes. So I've put a link in both chats, but you can also head over to katie-weaver.com and you'll find Luminous Magazine right there. This is, of course, the publication that I put out weekly with my colleagues from One Two Listen. Love the cover this week. Love it. There's so many things to it. There's the little mushroom cottage. There is, or would we call that a thatched roof cottage? Maybe, probably. Oh, there are trees. There's sunlight. There is a book. This is a little fairy tale. I loved it. Okay. And all new art. All new art. Really, we weren't due for new art until next week. But, I wanted to do it. And there's no rules, right? Only my own that I make for myself. So anyway, new art. And I really like it. It's very bright. It's happy. It's light. I felt like we needed that. So that's what we are doing. Interesting thing happening in my community because, as you guys know, I live in a place where that is prevalently Mormon. Well, the Mormons tend to send a lot of their kids from like 18 to 20-ish out for missions. For missions, I think the girls go for 18 months and the boys go for 2 years. Well, it's become unsafe around the world for these kids to be out on missions. And so they have been sent home in droves. And it's been an interesting thing because a lot of these kids are friends with my kids. And so my kids are watching on social media a lot of their friends returning home that shouldn't be home yet. My son, one of his best friends, got home yesterday and he shouldn't have come home until September. Now, some of them that haven't been out very long, they'll quarantine at home, they'll chill out here for a little while, and then at some point The hope is that they can send them back out, maybe stateside for a while or whatever, but they're not quite off the hook of their missions yet. But some of the kids that have been out longer, that only had like less than 6 months left, they're just done. And it's an interesting thing. In some of these kids, I think it's creating a fair amount of grief that, you know, that were doing their service, doing what they have been raised to do, what they believe is the right thing to do. And it got cut short. It's a strange thing. But the strangest thing about it for us is just seeing all of these kids come home and we can't see them. They can't see us. They have to quarantine. We have to quarantine. There is no way right now that any of them should be at my house or that my kids should be at their houses. And so it's online only. And I've seen a few of these kids come back and I just want to hug them and love them and can't quite yet. But anyway, that's a very interesting thing that's been going on in our world that I never thought we'd see. But anyway, my musings today, and I posted this on Facebook yesterday. Some of you probably saw it, but a Facebook friend of mine, it's his mom, who I'm friends with. Well, one of my good friend John's mom, somebody cloned her account and started messaging me. And I asked a few cryptic questions just to double check it wasn't her because, well, I wouldn't want to spam John's mom. She's like 85, but obviously it wasn't her. So I went full blown Tiger King. So you can see it on my Facebook page or in Luminous. I won't share it here. But I did basically everything I said to them was Tiger King themed. And I kept them going for quite a while. I finally ended the conversation because I realized at some point, if I made them mad enough, maybe they were just going to clone my account. So I went ahead and reported and blocked them. But not before I had a little fun. So be sure and read through that. If you've seen Tiger King, this will be hilarious for you. If you haven't, you might be a little confused. Also, if you haven't seen Tiger King, what are you doing with your life? Really? Okay, fine. If you don't want to see Tiger King, I will not judge you. I'm not judging you. It's just that, nope, I'm not judging. It is what it is. Kai's kaleidoscope this week is the mountain goat. She's bringing us our animal guidance for the week and for the month. And I'm so happy because it's Animal Communication Day and we have her mountain goat animal guidance. I absolutely love it. Mountain goats do not belong to the same genus classification as goats, diverging 7.5 to 8 million years ago. That's how long mountain goats have been on this planet. Well, longer, but that's pretty freaking amazing. I loved what she had to say. Have you guys ever seen mountain goats? We have them in certain mountainous areas around where I live. You have to go a ways to find them, but you cannot believe what they are standing on. They look like they're standing on a pebble on the side of a cliff, and they're just marching up. No problem. No big deal. Amazing. Anyway, I absolutely love it. And I hope that you guys have a chance to read her article because I loved what she had to say. The tip of the week this week is rosemary. Working on some plant magic. Rosemary. Grow a little rosemary in your home. These little kitchen gardens you can buy. You can grow some basil. You can grow some rosemary. Maybe you can grow a few other things. But rosemary is amazing to grow in your home. Why? Well, first of all, cooking with it's pretty dang great. But rosemary is known to enhance memory and focus. So, first of all, for those of you that are homeschooling right now, get some rosemary. Diffuse rosemary oil. Have a pot of rosemary growing around where your kids are doing their homework. Or if you are working from home and needing a place to study and focus and keep your attention away from YouTube for a little while, rosemary. It's awesome. Both eating it and smelling it is beneficial to the brain. Pretty awesome. Okay. This week, Elizabeth, in her weekly cosmic strip, she brings us her cosmic strip that says, "This domain is precious to me. Boundaries are healthy." We were laughing about how some of us are in pretty close quarters with quite a few other people. And we might be feeling a little bit like, get the hell out of my way. Not that I am, but we're in an interesting time where you can't really get away from each other. I read something hilarious yesterday. It was a string of tweets about people discovering what kind of coworker their spouse is by listening to them on conference calls, working from home stuff, discovering that their husband is the just to clarify guy, or the can we circle back to guy, or whatever. The just one more question girl when the meeting should be over. Anyway, it was so funny thinking that, yeah, we don't really see each other at work. We don't really know what we're like at work, probably. And for people to be working from home and seeing each other's work habits might be a bit of an eye opener. I thought that was a little funny. A lot funny, whatever. Anyway, there's a lot more great in Luminous. Lots of good stuff this week. Lots of brand new things. Jenny has an article called The Alchemy of Fear Changed into Love and Gratitude. I loved what she had to say. And of course, Anita, in bringing us her masters, she brings us Archangel Raphael, which is brilliant considering the Archangel Raphael is all about health and healing. We need a whole bunch of that. So connect with Archangel Raphael this week. I won't go through all of it, but I hope you do. I hope you have a chance to read through the articles, and I hope that you find something that is exactly what you needed to hear today. All righty. Well, back to our chat room here. It is Animal Communication Day. I'm seeing questions about other topics, and I'm compelled to think that we'll probably get to some of those as well because, we're all just doing the best we can right now, right? Right. Okay. All righty. Let's see. Just really happy to see you guys all here in the chat room and just here with me. It's a good way to spend our time, right? Spend it together. All righty. I'm going to jump into the top of the chat here. If I miss your question, you guys, I promise it's not personal. Sometimes I just don't see them or something grabs me. All right. Julia said, would love to be able to source the dizzy spells I've been having lately. Julia, let's tap into that. Okay, two things come up for me immediately, Julia. I'm going to encourage you to talk to your doctor about your thyroid and parathyroid, as well as your inner ear. My ear actually ached when I felt you, and so I wondered, but I also had a lump in my throat. So those are I feel like this does require medical care to get to the bottom of it. I also am hearing electrolytes. So talk to your doctor about taking a look at those things and see if you can find some balance. It seems to me like there is a lack of balance there. So those are some directions that you might want to go. But I do feel like this is going to require some care from your doctor or naturopath. And I recognize a lot of doctors are seeing nobody right now, but some of them will see you over the phone or at least, give you some help. So those are some things that came up for me. I do want to ground you though while I'm at it. So let's do that. So I'm going to move in through your root chakra. You have a little block in your root, actually, Julia, and I wonder if that's a part of this from an energetic place. So I'm going to push that through and just really ground you deeply into the earth here. And pull that energy to the top of your head and push it back into the earth. Yeah, I just want a good reciprocal motion here to know that you have some good self-clearing. So you did actually have a little root issue. So it could contribute. So I'm going to clear your crown here. And bring it down to size. Now, obviously, you guys, if you think that there's any chance that you have COVID, you would call your doctor, not your psychic, right? Because we are going to be extremely clinical about this. Yeah. Not that Julia thinks she does, and I'm not saying you do. That just came up for me, and I wanted to make sure I said it. Okay. Mary would love a clearing. She's having weird dreams and difficulty sleeping. Mary, it's not you. It's your bedroom. Your bedroom needs cleared. You have a lot of energy that has built up in there while you were convalescing. And now while you're going through all of this, weird period. And I feel like some of your husband's pent up energy is just really affecting you. So I'm going to actually clear your bedroom, but I'm going to recommend that you also go through there and smudge or do some other kind of clearing, whatever feels comfortable for you. But We're going to pay really close attention to your bed, to under your bed, to your linens, to your pillows, just clearing the entire space really, really well, because that's actually where the problem is. There is a really heavy load of energy there. So I'm going to actually just clear it away and bring a whole bunch of light into there. And again, I would still recommend that you clear it yourself as well, just to make sure, yep, that it's good. You actually feel pretty balanced to me. But yeah, that bedroom, you've been through a lot in the last year. And when you convalesce, that just tends to bring a lot of extra blah to your bedroom. Pardon me. I have a little cough myself. It's been going on for like 3 weeks, so don't worry. It's not the big C. We have a new big C. Isn't that weird? But forget the old big C. There's a new big C in town. Okay, Maureen says, we are thinking of rescuing an English Springer gal. Oh, that's one fun thing, Maureen. You probably have heard this too, but there's been a big push to, if you're home, think about adopting or at least fostering an animal for a while. And that's been happening right and left. People bringing home a companion. Hopefully, they will be able to keep them, right? That's to me an amazing thing. But if they all just get returned to the shelters when the quarantines are over, that's kind of heartbreaking. So I'm hoping that people are able right now to discover that they can be successful with an animal companion and that just maybe they decide to let them stay forever. Okay, Maureen said, okay, thinking about rescuing an English Springer gal, Ivy has been the only one for a year, and Logan is longing for another Springer as we had one we rescued 13 years ago. Do you think Ivy would adapt? I just want to show Ivy the idea of bringing the Springer into the house. Yeah, okay, that her first concern, and that's what I felt too, Maureen, was the energy level. The Springer's going to have more energy than her. We know this. She's going to be fine. She's excited about the idea of having somebody to play with. Her only concern was having a new dog come in the house that pesters the hell out of her. And so I assured her that you guys would make sure that that didn't happen, and that you guys got lots of breaks from her and that you didn't have to have, to be hassled. She didn't have to be hassled to pieces, but she would still have her alone time and her spoiled time. Actually, she'd adapt great. It's a good choice. It would be good for her. Actually, I feel like bringing a Springer in would turn her into a puppy again too in some ways. So yeah, thanks for asking her. I love that, but she's going to be fine with it. Okay, Jane said, didn't eat breakfast this AM, itching to get outside. Now I'm thinking about him and my mom's cat. Oh, she's showing me her cat. Okay, Maxwell. Didn't eat breakfast, wants to go outside. Yeah, I know he does. Poor Maxwell. Thinking about her mom's cat, Silky. Maxwell is an alpha. Silky is not. They will need to be separated. But yeah, because she's going to be traveling and taking Max there. Max is a Velcro cat. I'm not sure how he'll manage being alone in a strange house. Trust it'll all work out. He's going to be very unhappy for about 3 days, and then he's going to settle in. And actually, I feel like he may get to the point where once they've sniffed each other through doors enough, that Max and Silky might actually be able to coexist and not have to be completely quarantined from each other. But in the beginning, most definitely. 3 days is what I'm seeing, Jane. 3 days of him being pretty pissed off, and then he settles in. It will be okay. However, one warning I have for you is don't make sure he does not get outside. I know you're probably already thinking around that direction, but he cannot get outside while he's there because he's going to struggle. Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't want him outside because we don't want him to get lost. I know, you've probably already been thinking about that. All right, Laura said, if you're doing healings or energy work, can you send some love to my lungs, diaphragm, and throat area? Yep, I would absolutely love to, Laura. All right, so moving through your lungs, through your entire chest here, I'm going to do some alchemy. We're going to call out the ethereal energy of silver and of aquamarine. These are both ethereal energies for inflammation. So I want to Spread that, just creating a big sphere that I'm moving all the way through your entire chest cavity, your throat, and up to your sinuses too. I think your sinuses are a little bit more of an issue than maybe you're realizing, but that chest for sure. And I'm going to leave that chi ball right in place, Laura. We'll just let that continue to settle there and continue to cool and help that inflammation. Yeah. And of course, big ethereal hugs to you, my friend. Get feeling better. All right. Miss Tammy needs an energy clearing. She is very clingy. She's driving her mama crazy. She's a rescue dog that is so full of love and life. She's a little doll, but apparently she needs a little reminder to chill. So I'm going to tune into Tammy. We've worked with Tammy before. She's darling. All right. Good reminders to Tammy always to potty outside. Sometimes she needs to remember. And to bring it down a few notches. Yep. To settle. But it's okay to rest. Oh my goodness. Mary, you just have no idea how much this dog wants to please you. She wants to please you so much, she just wants to wear your skin, you know? She loves you so much that it's just the level of enthusiasm she has for you is darling and actually just really fun. Okay. Though I did ask her to, calm, give you opportunities to not have her in your face, back up just a little, or maybe a lot. All right. Sheila said, my boss adopted a stray cat about 4 years ago, and we all take care of her in the office. During the week, she sleeps inside the office and outside on the weekend. Now that we are out of the office for the time being, I want to make sure she's okay. Her name is Shatsy. I don't know if my boss has checked on her. Please tell her we care for her and that this is temporary. I actually feel like your boss has checked on her, Sheila. I feel like she has gotten some scratches and some food and gotten some attention, but she has been a little confused about where everybody has went. So I'm just reassuring her that everyone will be coming back. Yep, and that she is still loved. Yep, she's hanging pretty close to the building there. She's okay. But yeah, actually I feel like she has been looked in on a few times. Oh, that's really sweet. Poor little sweetheart. All right. Sid said it seems there is a possibility that the acupuncture Elliot, her dog, had 2 weeks ago might have overwhelmed the balance that I was able to achieve at home with almost daily acupressure treatment. Will you please check in with Elliot? Please ask him how his inner ear is feeling. If it is the right side of his head, it is likely I can restore him to his original vibrant condition using the same daily, gentle, gradual approach that was so successful in improving his health to the degree that even the vet noticed. Oh, let's tune into him. Oh, he's out of whack for a few reasons. I do feel like he had kind of a, in a human, what we would call a healing crisis, you know, but he also is just feeling the weight of the world, like the planetary discombobulation we're feeling right now. I feel like he's kind of heavy with that. I'm actually going to clear his aura and balance his chakras for you, Sid. And then I absolutely agree with you that going back to your acupressure and checking in with your vet is going to make a big difference for him. So just clearing his aura first. He's a little sponge. What a little empathic dog. Or little. I don't think he's little, but an empathic dog that is picking up on a lot of this energetic stuff we have going on right now. All right, I cleared his aura. I'm going to balance his chakras too. Animals have nearly the same chakra system that we do. They just have an additional main chakra that we don't have called the brachial. But everything else is just about the same. So I'm just going to bring him into a good energetic balance. The brachial, in case you guys are wondering, is right about at the shoulder blades. And that's a really good place to connect with your animals. That's where their spirit connects with ours. So when you put your hand on an animal, a lot of times you'll rest your hand kind of at the nape of their neck, right about the base of right at their shoulder blades. Their brachial chakra is right there. So your hand, your palm chakra, connects right there to their brachial chakra. And that's a place where a lot of energetic communication passes between us and the animals that we love. Okay, let's see. We are really getting down to the wire. I want to check into a couple of things here. Sandy has a phone interview with a company on Thursday. Any insight? Still at the temp job, which is not in my field. Sandy, I feel like there's real potential there. What I'm hearing is that you need to be clear with them that you can be patient and roll with the tide right now during this time of disruption. They need to hire, but they also have some financial conflicts going on. So make sure that you're clear with them if you really want this job, that you can be flexible and go with the flow right now with them. That's going to make a big difference. Okay. Anna said, I've been playing my Lemurian crystal bowl and noticed it's set to C sharp. That's the root chakra, and rose quartz set to F sharp, the heart chakra. I haven't played these in 2 years and missed this. Yeah, yep, you're right. You have a root and a heart. Very cool. Okay. Oh, very cool. Mary has a rosemary hedge. I'm very jealous. It's too cold here. You can't grow rosemary outside. Isn't that a bummer? And believe me, Scott has tried. Oh, so many times, and it never works out. Okay, Belle's kitty is really struggling. She's not using her litter box and keeps using the couch. All right, let me tune into her. Good Lordy. Yeah. She just does not like the change in routine. There's some conflict, Belle, between her and your husband. That's where this is coming from. I'm going to ask him to really make peace with her and her him. But I am going to show her that she's either going to use her litter box or she's going to be spending a lot of time in the bathroom with a litter box. That we're not just going to let her run the house anymore if she can't knock that off. That she's not going to be allowed to do that ever, ever, ever again. I think she has to have a really strong consequence right now. Now, you may not enforce that, but, when I work with your animals, I get to be the bad guy sometimes and, give them a consequence. So that's what I'm showing her, is that she is either going to knock this off right now or she's going to be in the bathroom with a litter box. That's where she'll be chilling. But the anger that she's displaying by peeing on the couch is towards your husband. Him being home, the routine being off. There may be a little more to it than that, but I'm going to ask them to make peace with each other so that we don't have any more of this. But yeah, when cats pee, they're usually pissed off. It's quite literal. Okay. Hello, MJ. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy that you're listening. It's very nice to have you. She's listening from South Africa. I'm very glad to have you here. And hello, Amber. Chris wanted to know, do you think the coronavirus shutdown is a cover for going after the bad guys? I've heard this from several sources. I know that this is a belief that some people are really holding. I'm going to say it in this way, Chris. I don't think it is a cover for going after the bad guys, but I do believe that while the world is in chaos and while people are not where they would normally be and things are a little different, that it's being used as such. So does that make sense? I feel like there's a little bit of both going on. I don't think that the coronavirus was created for that purpose. I fully disagree with that. But is it being, are we using this as an opportunity perhaps to go after some of the silent bad guys in the world? Yeah, I think that's actually true. I'll give you that. Okay, you guys, we have done what we do. We have definitely talked down to the end of the show. I want to thank you all very, very much for being here. Of course, I want to let you know that you can come see me tomorrow at 12radio.com in the morning. I believe that show is from, let's see, it's at 10 a.m. Pacific. It's CA and I's pop-up show. We're going to be doing 2 hours of readings. Me and CA and Caroline Nettle. So that's going to be a ton of fun. I hope you guys can come at 10 a.m. Pacific time over at 12radio.com. And of course, then on Thursday, it is the week for Strange Phenomena and Mystery to be live. So I'll be live with Kai and with Raven also at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday for our Strange Phenomena and Mystery show. So lots of fun things happening. Thank you all so very much for being here. Be well. Of course, I am over at 12listen.com every single day. I'm a professional psychic advisor over there. Come and see me for psychic readings, for energy work, for animal communication, for mediumship. I'll do whatever I can to help you guys. So thanks so much for being here. Take care and have a good one. You've been listening to The Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.